heading down south for the rest of the day. Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of days, the day after a birthday party.
Well, yeah. That's, way south. That's a different kind of Southbound. No, I decided to play the Dickie Betts track in honor of our friends coming from Southern Cross. Really kind of, I don't know, because I can. The funny thing is I'm listening to the track that we're playing with, that's me and, who is it, Rick Derringer and Chris Clark and certainly Dickie Betts and whoever else. And hey, get those pictures out of my face. Oh, there's no face there. There's one! Okay. Jesus. You okay? I'm okay. You okay? Yeah. Good. Good.
And if you noticed, he managed to post the picture that
Of the
took
cake.
of Gail's cake and ice cream with the very cool happy birthday candles.
The unavailable, it's this phone!
He took it in the wrong
It's this
format.
stupid phone!
So we had to take a picture of his phone.
I had to take a screenshot of it because the new iPhone has, well, the newer iPhones all have these wild new cameras that do all this crazy shit, and that's great when you want to do crazy shit, but when you don't, it's not that great. And there's all kinds of ways to set the thing up. You can set it up that it always starts that way, or it starts a different way all the time.
I know where Rich Verge is. Aruba.
Aruba, Bahama.
Hey,
Come on,
Rich
pretty mama.
Verge in Aruba.
So yes. So that's what it is. That's what that was. And
Yes.
so that was just to explain the little title there. M4DR was a concert that we did for hurricane relief at Universal. We were the band. It was me and Chris Clark and who was the bass player? Charlie Torres. Oh, Charlie Torres, great
Yeah,
player.
he's great. He wanted my boots.
And Rick, yeah. Everybody wants your boots.
I got cool boots. That's
do?
right.
Steve Marriott wanted your
Steve
boots.
Marriott tried on my boots, different pair. But yes, I have cool boots.
Big guy, Steve?
Little tiny guy. Little guy.
Because I've seen your boots.
Yes. Okay, so Sue said, nice looking cake. So it was
Oh.
a cake with raspberry filling.
Let me tell you what,
and-
if you ever get shut down by a cake, that's the one.
Oh man.
You want some more cake? No. No.
Yeah, but
No
we
more
were
Coke.
right back at it today.
Yeah, but come on, you don't see yourself like taking it easy? You're only like eating 6 slices a day. We cut the cake into more slices, that way we figure it'll last
Let me
longer.
tell you what, that's one of the best cakes.
And whoever, somebody has to make those, right? I mean, somebody has to be there. That's not a machine, right? And whoever did the icing on this must have really loved icing. Because there's about an inch of, they must have been going, oh, these people are going to go nuts.
Nice buttercream.
Yeah, I hope sweet tooth people get this one. Oh, and it's not that kind. It's good.
It's
Real
really
good.
good.
Yeah, it's really freaking really good. And with a
Gail
little,
says she's got to try it. You do, Gail.
yeah, try one.
Try one. They sell slices because
Oh.
Steve bought me a slice of that years ago and he brought it home. I must have been sick or something.
Did I?
Yep.
Must have been sick. I must have been sick.
For you to be in the grocery buying stuff. Yeah, you brought
I
me-
must have. That's what I said. I must
said,
have
I
been
want
sick.
something sweet. I want some cake. And you brought me a slice of that home.
A slice I brought home.
Yeah,
So
they sell them by the slices.
I
too.
didn't have any. I didn't bring any for me.
None of that, I don't think. You
Wow.
probably tasted mine.
I probably ate 3 slices before I got home. No, not that.
Laurie Richardson says fave combo raspberry. I know.
Yeah, she likes.
I love raspberry.
I'm on the fence with fruit and certain things, but this is insanely good. And there's a Are we gonna like do munchy talk all night?
No, we're not.
All right. So what are we talking about?
Well, people are just talking about this. So,
Yes.
I mean, we did have. How about that party?
How about that party?
Felt like a 70-year-old's party?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
And how about that? We had a rat race choir member.
Right.
We had a good rat member. And we had a zebra member.
Wow. I mean, we're having all the great Long Island band, all the great Long Island bands on the show
That's right.
at the
Yeah,
same
a full
time.
house member, but they were more like, you know.
Yeah,
after
they were.
the time
They were the next generation.
Next generation, that's right.
Because we had who else was in? That was in a band. Who else was in there? Somebody.
Joe Castelli.
Right, and he was in what?
I don't know. We had Keith Crane, who was in
Keith Crane. There you go.
19
1910 Fruit Gum Company.
That's
That
right.
is so hard to say.
It is.
I feel like I'm gonna.
Shar says, "Great party. Were you there, Shar?"
Yeah, were you at the party?
I don't remember you being there.
She says after every party. You were there? I don't remember you being there. Open your eyes, lady. It's like other typical parties. And I was thinking about the birthday parties, and thank you all for coming. It was fun. It was great to see Larry. I haven't seen Larry in years in person.
Right, Larry
Dr.
was in
Larry.
a band, Robin Zander band.
Right.
Right.
And the most recent bass player in Torque.
That's right. And Dr. Hobbs band.
Dr. Hobbs, the whole band was there. That was the whole band. I didn't even realize it. We should, no, we shouldn't. But I was thinking about all the birthdays. I mean, I've had some pretty crazy birthdays. When did we start having them in the city every year? Like in the late 80s?
Oh, yes, late 80s. Mm-hmm.
88, 89, 90. The birthday party, I mean, it was a thing. Steve Luongo's birthday. Okay.
It was a reason for...
And they were packed.
Yeah.
They were, I had, Patrick Ewing came to one. He came to one on 21st Street at Spody's.
Yep.
And I have never, ever in my life seen a head that huge. I mean, a human being alone huge, but his head was like, it. Maybe it was the acid. I don't know, but
No.
but it
No.
it was amazing. And a lot of sports guys came to him.
That's because Matt invited all those people.
No, I'm talking about China Club, like when Ron Darling and who was
Keith Hernandez.
Keith Hernandez
Right.
came, and it was great. I mean, there was some, and then I still remember. Wow, playing pool.
That wasn't your birthday, though,
No.
was it?
I think it was my birthday. The pool day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Christopher.
And
Why
Judd-
would Christopher Walken be there?
And Judd Nelson.
Yeah, I was playing with Judd Nelson.
Right. Yes.
Oh my! Playing pool with Judd Nelson.
And Christopher Walken.
Great player. Wow. Love him. And well, anyway. So, Carole King was she was at a birthday party.
Right.
And you remember Jeff Healey?
Yes. Yeah.
Great musicians. And the jams were just insane. Gene came and played Mark's guitar.
Gene Cornish.
And Mark had like taken out the volume knobs or something. Gene's like he always says that whenever we start talking about jamming or Spody's or any of that stuff, he brings up that guitar. I couldn't turn it down. Oh, so that's it.
It's super glued.
Yeah, these go to 11 and nothing else. Oh, we have a guest. Ding dong. Come on in, Sonny. Do it to it, Sonny Pruitt. I'm only going to get the picture. Because I have pictures. There he is.
Hello.
Hello.
I think I have the sound feed on the YouTube channel. Let me turn that off before
Okay.
we go any. All right. I know that can create a problem sometimes. Here we go. That's it. All right.
Sometimes it induces humor.
Here we go.
Hi, son.
Okay, here.
Hi. Happy birthday, Steve. I'm sorry I missed you.
There's always next year, I hope. No, it was no. We had a good time. It was nice. It's it's not as. I was wondering if I was going to limp over this birthday. Not even close, man. I'm just doing 35 twice. That's it.
That's right.
You know what? I've only had one birthday that was really a bummer, and that was when I was 31, and I attribute it to the fact that John Lennon had been killed, and I was in a funk for almost a year, and my band was that was our peak, pretty much. We couldn't have been more successful, and I was just in this really depressed, funky state of mind. I don't know. I've never. It hasn't happened again. Thank God. Thank heavens. But
Is your birthday December 8th?
no, it's January 19th. Same as Mousy Gorney, by the way.
Oh.
We share the same birthday.
That's pretty cool.
It is totally cool. We both remember almost everything that's happened in our lives. And I don't know.
That might not be so cool.
It can be a real problem sometimes. It really can.
Sure.
She's just amazing. And anyway,
Speak of the she devil, and she appears.
So you've known her your whole life?
no, I haven't. I met her when Southern Cross was playing gigs with Molly Cribb.
Oh, okay.
And did you by any chance hear my opening song in your honor?
No, I didn't.
Oh, certainly an oversight on my part. Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, my fault. Please, entirely. Oh, here.
That's Dickie Betts.
And me. That's me and Dickie and
Rick Derringer and
Rick Derringer was
Torres.
it was I just wanted to make sure I still had a little Southern rock cred, in the group.
I imagine you do.
Okay.
Mike Dykes, I think, may be here.
Miles.
Wow, check us out here.
There he is.
There he is.
Hi.
What's happening?
Hi,
Oh man,
Tiny.
I got my.
Wait a minute. I got my shades here somewhere. Let me get them.
I got shades.
All right.
You're muted, I think.
I am.
Oh no, we very low.
No, but your volume is very low.
Oh, let me.
I shouldn't get in Mousie's way. Let her
This
do
isn't-
the production stuff.
I'll do this. Just step back, will you please?
Wait a minute. Mousie's voice sounds better than everybody else's. What's going on here?
Because I have Bose headphones with a built-in microphone.
Okay.
Oh, I have those. They sound like that?
Oh yeah, they sound amazing.
What's about it with my mic? I mean, it's just not working for everybody. I know.
Well, so I have pictures. Angus furnished me with a slideshow. Check it out, kids.
Oh, cool.
You see.
Wow.
So who's going to narrate the pictures? Sonny?
Yeah, I'm playing bass on this one. I played bass on 2 songs. Joe plays great guitar, and we worked it out to where he was at least going to play some guitar on this set. He was known as our bass player, but we tried to hire him as guitar player for, what was it, 2 or 3 years, and he signed on as a bass player, and then we decided we wanted a bass player, and we auditioned so many guys, but anyway, so we're playing a song from either Charlie Daniels or the Allman Brothers.
Ah.
Well, that's got to be Marshall Tucker.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, there's flute
Yeah.
on Marshall Tucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't know that.
Well, you're not a big Marshall Tucker fan?
I can't think of a song.
Look at that. That says it all for me, guys. That's
That's where it's at right there.
Oh my God. It was like sardines in that room.
That's. I mean, how's that? How's that feel? That's got to. You know, I mean,
There's no better feeling, man.
It felt
That's awesome.
amazing. It felt totally amazing. All the anxiety of the anticipation of everything was just like it was great when we got there. It was wonderful. You know.
that's. And so, how long was it from the idea? You know, let's do this thing to it actually happen. How long? You know, from. And what was that process? I mean, I don't want to do an interview. I'm just very seriously interested in how you orchestrated it, because that was a bag full of people digging some music from top to tail. That's not an easy feat these days, you know, anywhere in the COVID era or any other time to jam a place like that. So, you know, I'm interested to know who called who, what happened, and why.
Well, we had a meeting, and I guess it was the year before the pandemic, before COVID hit, and we all decided that we wanted to try to do this again. And then COVID hit, and everything was on hold, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to have a crowd in a place again. Like everybody else, we were holding our breath pretty much. And Tiny sent me a email, or is it a Facebook post saying, "Are we ever going to play together again?" And for some unknown crazy reason, I said, "Yes, we are." and that's pretty much how the beginning of it. And then we made all the calls, and everybody said they were in, and we had to find a place. And there were 3 places in New Jersey, or anywhere, 3 places that are still around that we played in the old days: the Stone Pony, Joe Pop's in Long Beach Island. Did you guys ever play there?
Not Joe Pops, but we played at Pony.
It was a great bar too, and the Osprey. And I first tried to contact the Stone Pony and the headliner, which is where we did the one in 2010 with Kinderhook, and that was a great venue too. And Tommy was excellent over there, and we were just in the process of talking to him when I got a call, or got an email from Tex, this manager of the Osprey. And he says, would you mind meeting with us? And we went over there, and Marie and I went over and saw the place, and we just said, yeah, let's do this. You know, this is going to be good. And I shake hands with the owner, and I said, do we need to sign a contract or anything? And he says, I'm Sicilian. That's our contract.
Jeez.
I said, okay.
We'll be there.
I'd like to trace those roots back a little bit. That's I'm Sicilian. That's our. Well, it's very, very true.
So, Steve, did you guys in Rat Race ever have a leader of the band?
Yeah. Yes, he said as he choked on his dinner. No, no, we did. I mean, and it wasn't. It wasn't like, okay, we're going to make somebody the leader. It was somebody who just assumed the role because it was available. It wasn't me. Certainly not then. I was too busy being the quintessential drummer musician. You know,
Star.
I wasn't leading anything except, the blind.
He was
and-
leading the party.
I was leading the party, but I mean the bass player Dave used to. I mean, he would write the sets. He would write the sets. And I mean,
Dave was okay.
As much as we had that, he was
We
a singer, so I guess that kind of dictated it a little bit too. I mean, I sang as well, but he was the lead singer, so I guess that, you know how those lead singers are.
Yeah.
I always thought you were the lead singer too.
I was in my own because
the impression I got.
Yeah, I was, but I wasn't the lead singer that got to, get my way all the time. I was the
older.
drummer that got my way all the time. Totally different dynamic.
And Dave was older when they started out.
Yeah, Dave was.
And that
old.
mattered when you were like 14.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why did you guys have a leader? I can't.
I think in the very beginning, it seemed like our original keyboard player, Rance, was the leader. It seemed like to me in the very
Yes.
beginning.
Rance
But
was the
after he
leader.
left, we had a manager, and it didn't seem like we had a leader at all. And certainly, I never wanted to be considered to be the leader. But when I shook that guy's hand, I felt like I was the leader of the band for the first time. It was totally
Well,
amazing.
hey man, you know, I'll tell you, it's good to have somebody that's invested in the thing, and I don't mean financially, you know, emotionally or whatever.
I mean, only because I'm shaking hands with the guy. That's the only reason I feel like this. But it was that was a strange feeling of you know.
So, well, now, now that you're the leader, what happens next?
Well, before we even played the gig, we rehearsed at the bar for 2 days too. They offered us the place to rehearse in, and we had a drummer that we had the drummer that we had used for the previous reunions. He said he couldn't commit to the rehearsals, or and we thought it best to get a drummer to rehearse with us. So we had Ryan Carver, a great drummer.
He was really good, man.
Really?
That kid, he fit right in like a hand in a glove.
Wow.
I was young, but
He's 40 years old. Someone said he looks like Harry Potter, by the way.
I was going to say, he looked like, you know, was he alive when these songs were out? I mean,
no, but he had it down, man.
He had
had
done
the
his homework.
vibe.
He was
had,
1 year old. He
did.
was 1 year old, and we broke up. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that counts. You know, when you get a throwback guy like that understands it, that's, you know, that's a great thing. I mean, I've seen a lot.
I feel like he was kind of an old soul anyway, though, that kid, right?
He
Playing on
definitely
his
is.
Slingerlands, you know, he had like the little whittled down, just straight ahead kid with the
He's
pearl
got a
slingies and
clean
Yeah.
style. That's what I would
Yeah.
call it. Real
Yeah.
clean style.
Wow, that's great, man.
And-
That's great.
I think he told me he studied with Dom Famularo.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Well, I was having, me with the drums. I had the drum discussion with him. So yeah, he studied with Dom. So he had, like I said, he had that kind of old school vibe to him.
He's from Long
Already.
Island.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's
Long Island. From
Pardon
Long
me?
Island?
He's from New Jersey. He's from, I think
Yeah.
he's from Tom's River, actually, is where he's from.
Oh,
And or Beechwood, that's the next town over to Tom's River. And we tried out two other guys, and they were good, but something just wasn't right with it. And I sent him a text because he plays with like 3 or 4 different groups, and I said, "Could you recommend somebody?" And within minutes, he texted me back, "I recommend myself, more or less." I said, "You're interested?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, well, "Great." So we gave a little audition. He passed it with flying colors, and Joe and I rehearsed with him here at my place like 3 times, and then we got together the whole band for 2 days. And Ryan had a wedding already booked the day before the gig, so that would be our dress rehearsal, right? And so we decided to do a vocal rehearsal, and that was good for us too. We did that, and we ran through all of our vocal parts, and the comments that I heard from people were that they kind of expected us to kind of wing it, or not go through the motions or anything, but everybody said we just completely knocked it out, and it was like it was the old days, which I can say for my part, I was making a few mistakes, but it was really, really good, and the crowd was just it was a love fest there, definitely.
I told you the vibe was beyond. I've had some.
Did you do rehearsals? Were you at the rehearsals too?
No, I wasn't, although I saw some videos of things. But honestly, I probably saw Southern Cross play more times than the average fan, just from the fact that even when we didn't have to, when we weren't booked with them, when we weren't playing at the same venue, if they were like at Mother's 10 minutes from my house, we're like, let's go see the boys, let's go see the band. So we would all kind of like intermingle. I think I told everyone that Joey came to my wedding in a 3-piece suit. He calls me up the day before my wedding, and Joe was not invited to my wedding, formally invited, but he called me up and he said, "Mouse, where's your wedding?" So I said, "Well, here's where it is," or what. He says, "Well, I'm coming." He goes, "I got me a 3-piece suit." So Joey came in a white 3-piece suit to my wedding, and everybody thought that I was marrying Joe Pruitt. So like my relatives who had never met Michael were like, "Oh, is that the groom?" And finally, I just got tired of saying no. I was like, "Yeah, that's the that's the guy.
That's him.
He's very tall." So,
Wow.
but I have to say, every once in a while, you have these gigs, and you know it's something special. It goes beyond, like, Sonny, you talk about like the little flaws, you know, that you made mistakes. I know there were things I wished that were like not, like tweaked to the way I'd like them to be. I know that, at one point some guy came up to me and he said, "Would you like me to give you cues for the band?" And I said, "No, thank you." I like that was a kind offer, I guess. I'm sure it wasn't meant in like the way of like, I don't like the way you're mixing or whatever, but
Was it one of our guys?
no, it was a random guy in the crowd.
Thank God.
So, because I am a girl.
I was going to
so
yell at him if
like,
it was.
Oh, right.
so, but you knew that it was something amazing happening. Everybody in that room knew it was something amazing happening. And I'm sure for a lot of people, it was for a lot of different reasons. As I said, it's because I'm back in a club I haven't been in 45 years. It's because, oh, here's the guy I used to do shots at with the bar at, at whatever. Oh, here's where my wife and I met, kind of thing. Here's the song that I've loved my whole life and I haven't heard it live forever. And then, of course, the vibe of just the band of like, oh, here we are playing together, making it all happen. And it was honestly, like Sonny said, it was a love fest. It was absolute magic. I had such a hard time hearing over top of the people singing along, but I'm in like trying to mix the vocals, except everyone around me is singing every word to every song at the top of their lungs, not just like la la la, screaming at the top of their lungs, like they are in the band now with you. And it was magic. And I have to bring up something that I thought about this afternoon. I know for a fact what effort had to go into doing this, because we did this with Molly Cribb. You start, as you said, like a year ahead of time, and Melanie and your whole crew, Marie and your families that supported this whole thing, that set up the Facebook page, that did the podcast, that printed up the t-shirts, that just kept the interest going and built the anticipation to the point of it turned into the event of the year, but it was not without a lot of effort. And those people, again, cannot get enough credit for what they did, because, left up to the band, I feel like you'd probably tell your friends, "Hey, we're getting together." And
Right.
people would show up.
That's right.
So an amazing feat on all levels. It was like putting on a Super Bowl show. It was incredible.
It sounds like it was. I mean, that's why I thought it would be cool to do this. We did the one that we did in 2017, and it was different. It was. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I got a chance to interface with anybody in that old, "Hey man, haven't seen you in 30 years." It was such mayhem and such just randomness that I played, I went back up into the dressing room, I came back, I played, you know what I mean? It was a little bit more sterile than I probably would have liked it to be.
There were other bands too, though.
Yeah, we were there were like 4 people on the bill. It was it was
Who was that other band the other night?
White
Zebra.
Tiger.
No.
Zebra.
No, Zebra was both nights, but there was
one night there was Bonnie Parker.
Bonnie Parker was one night, and
Wow.
I forget the name of the other band.
yeah, I forget the name too. And it wasn't not White Tiger, but something like that.
White Fire.
Yes.
White Fire.
See,
Ooh, yeah.
just like something like that.
We never forget, right?
That's
That's
right.
good.
And speaking of fire, that bro right there with the shades, he was on fire.
Oh,
Tiny
Bless
was
your heart. Thank you.
on fire.
Thank you,
Don't bless
Mousy.
my heart, bro. I have to tell you, people were, it was like, the reaction when Jerry Garcia plays his first notes and the dead heads are there. That's what happened when he started playing that guitar. People like that, the room exploded. And
Wow,
every lead that
thanks.
he took, it just got better and better and better. And everybody was just like, I actually saw, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I told Steve this. I saw grown men sitting there crying, just standing there crying because they were just so happy that it turned out to be not only, I think, what they hoped it would be or what they expected to be, but better.
This was an event where many people who haven't seen each other in 3 or 4 years because of the pandemic, first time they got back together. So it was a combination of everything, and I heard all kinds of people boasting that this was the event of the decade. One person actually posted on Facebook, which I'm going, oh my God, you know. I thought it was pretty darn good, and it was just, there were so many people. You talk about connecting with the crowd and all, Steve. There must have been 150 to 200 people out of that crowd that I consider to be dear friends, and I only saw a few of them, and I was
Yeah.
talking to somebody almost the entire time I was off stage.
that makes me feel better. It does because man, it wasn't for us. It was 20 years, so it was a lot of time. But
And they opened the door 2 hours before the show started to let people in. Imagine if you didn't do that, but they did. They opened the doors at 2, and so that they had some time to, and of course it's never enough time.
Yeah.
But we made sure everything was like wrapped up with sound check before people started drifting in. So they
I'm
would
sure there
be
was
free
no
to.
beer sales or anything like that.
Oh my God.
So the week
Yeah.
before the show, Tiny came down and stayed with me, and he and I worked out our parts. But we had a radio interview we did with the local Brookdale, the community college radio station, which is really good, and that was great. We met this one of the DJs came to our show, and I didn't see him there. And after the show was over, we were back. My sisters came up. This is like a family reunion, as if I didn't have enough irons in the fire. Visiting my sisters at her rented place down the street, and Marie told me that this guy Stu Coogan was there, and I said, "Really?" So on the way home, I put the radio station on, and he has this thing called the Blues Hour on Sunday nights, and he was just about to come on, and he came on, and by the way, he started out his show identical to the way ours started. We had our friend Jimmy Palumbo, who is a famous actor. He's been on 30 Rock,
Blue Bloods, Friends,
all kinds of
Larry David, Curb Your
He's the
Enthusiasm.
voice of Volvo. He does voiceovers and stuff. Anyway, he announced this. He says, "I'm not going to talk because I don't want to be booed. I've never been booed before." So I'm just going to say, here they are, and do it. But I'm going to have a moment of silence for 9/11 because that was
Right.
the day we picked. Perfect. He says, "This is a moment of silence." And then he says, "Okay, now the guys and he introduced us." So this guy Stu Coogan started his show just like that, a moment of silence, thoughts for the firefighters, and the same thing he said that Jimmy said. And then he says, "If you're wondering why I'm happy, I'm coming from the Osprey Hotel Osprey nightclub where Southern Cross did its 50th reunion. It was a love fest." He pretty much says what we're saying now. And then he played Southern rock rather than blues for 2 hours and talked about the show the whole time. I mean, it was the perfect ending to a perfect day. I thought,
That's cool. Well, I mean, think about it. Let's get 800 drunk people and make them be quiet for a minute and then say, "Okay, now you can make some noise." That's just a pro right there.
Right.
Okay, is the minute over yet? No, all right. Oh, okay. Now,
Jimmy's an old Southern Cross fan, though. This goes way back. He
oh, yeah, no,
his
I
brothers.
believe me, I'm playing with him. It's, but there is some truth and humor, and I mean, think about it. Think about those 800 people that were there 2 hours early, or whatever it was, 8,000 people. I don't even know what certainly looked like a lot of them, and I'm sure that they were drinking maybe moderately.
Some, yes.
So, I think the minute of silence on its own was probably amazing.
Oh, that was a great
The
idea.
fact that they got to explode, that's just perfect, So, did you get to play everything that you wanted to play?
Pretty much. Just the day before the show, by the way, the owners of the Osprey told us they wanted us to do it again next year. So we already thought we were on to something pretty good. And at the end of the show, they said the same thing again. Let's do it again. And
That's great, man. I mean, that's
yeah.
We pretty
And
much
that's what-
played everything we knew. I'll put it that way.
I think we had one or two more songs, but it was
Yeah, there was a couple that were on the list that you didn't get to, but
yeah.
by the same token, you had to kind of like, yeah, it's hard. You want to like be chatting to people a little bit from the stage, but you also have to keep it going to make sure that you get all those songs crammed in. Like I could see where someone like Paul McCartney just has to do a 3-hour show because you're trying to like, do a little bit of chatter in between. And then, somebody needs to change a guitar or whatever, so, but you got to keep it moving. Otherwise you're running out of time. Although I think you guys could have stayed there till midnight and people would have been cool with it. So it was,
how long did you play? Did you play straight through?
And we played an hour, took a break, came back and did another hour, and then played about maybe 30 more minutes after that.
yeah, I would think.
Two and a
Yeah.
half- 2.5 hours probably.
That's a good shot, man. That's great. So and what was out of the whole set? Favorite song of the night? Tiny. We're gonna put you on the spot.
Oh God. Well, I know there is one, but I can't think of it right now. Ask Sonny first.
Okay, why don't I ask Sonny first?
You're always picking on me, Steve.
Go ahead.
I really enjoyed Gray Ghost. That was fun.
That's the one I was trying to think of.
He was going to say.
Damn
By
it.
the way,
Okay.
Yeah, it was my favorite song. That's the one I enjoyed practicing the most too.
the last reunion we did, we didn't have all of our songs. As a matter of fact, Gary couldn't come in until the day of the show. He had a very lucrative offer, he said, and he flew in, and he almost didn't make it to the show. We were scheduled to go on 3:15. At 3:05, I look on the other side of the stage, and he's pointing to his watch. He just got there. So this is how close it was the last time. And the last time we didn't have much of a rehearsal with the drummer and Joe either. Tiny and I did all the the guitar players got to do all the double stuff that we do, and we didn't have the song list that we had this time. I mean, we really had the good songs, and we even played the dreaded song "Freebird." And so,
Yeah, but I'll bet
how many times have we played that song? But
Oh my God, I know, right?
But after
And it
so
just
many
goes
years,
on and on and on.
Yeah.
And
it
on
had to
and
be
on
a
and on.
blast. Had
Yeah.
to be fun to play that again.
My favorite songs were out of the gate. They opened with Southbound, and it was like somebody just shot off fireworks. It was, the piano, Gary's voice is really, it was up tempo. Everybody, people, you could feel the room starting to people were just literally shaking in their shoes when that song. And then I have to say, again, Joey, there is something about Joe Pruitt's voice that is reminiscent to me of the emotion of Hank Williams. It's not like the loudest voice, it's not the thickest or the strongest voice, but there is this pathos in the way he sings that just he could take it right down to feeling like you're in this intimate little coffee house where there's 5 tables of people and he's just there singing just to you. And it was magic for people to go back to that time, because we were lucky enough, and I know Steve you'll think this too, and I talked to this Linda Wagner from Impact, who was the lead vocalist with Impact. I talked to Linda about this and I said, here's the difference between then and now. We grew up doing this, and we knew at that time we were having the time of their lives. There was no looking back going, oh, I wish I realized how much fun I was having there. We knew every night of every minute that, oh my God, doesn't everybody wish they were us? This is, this is the place to be. It's never going to get any better than this. And that's what it all came back to that night. It was just that feeling of like, screw everything before you had mortgages to worry about, or kids, or divorces, or car payments, or any of that. It took everybody right back to that time where nothing else matters right now except what we're doing right now.
And that was the thing that ran through ours too. It was just that moment, just being, regardless of what happened or didn't happen leading up to it or in the years, whatever, on stage, that feeling of oneness. When you get out of yourself, and I know you all know that when you get out of yourself and you just are in that music, you're just so present, and that was the thing for me. For ours, I trained for ours. I trained for like 3 months, and I did like a religious thing because I wanted to be as good as I ever was or ever could be in that situation. Different than the other stuff that I did past there. That was a very fluid place to be, and it had to, I had to be on the top of my game. So getting to fire that off, twice, not just once, was great. I mean, I nothing feels better than that. Nothing. And to do it for your fans, they were there. We had 2 great nights. It was amazing. It was amazing. So.
That was awesome. I've noticed this video. I think it might have been on your page. This guy from Long Island did Long Island bands of the 70s and 80s. It's a video. It's about 25 minutes long. He features Rat Race Choir, Twisted Sister,
Good Rats.
Good Rats.
Oh,
talked
Good
about
Rats
that
and
last
Zebra,
night, Good
right?
Rats
Yeah,
and
Lenny was
Zebra.
just talking about that last
Right.
night.
Where is
I
that?
haven't seen that.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's very interesting.
I'd love to.
He pulls up. He saved all these ads from the Good Times and Aquarian and all those kind of stuff. And he talks about Twisted Sister rise up from the club scene and all the clubs that were cool, all the concert venues in Long Island, there was a bunch. Anyway, I found it very entertaining, and he even mentioned Southern Cross a few times. He saw our name in the ad. Southern Cross was a band that played here, and they were very big in Long Island too.
Yeah, that's how I knew you guys. It's surprising for me to get the whole Jersey connection because you guys, I never thought about where anybody was from anyway, because all I saw was the frickin' Aquarian or the Good Times or whatever, and that's how I knew everybody's name and everybody's logo. I never got to see anybody play, and and I was too busy on the breaks when we did play together. I had social business to attend to, which I took very seriously, and it's
the serious work.
Networking.
and it's not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah, but
But-
where
Not at all.
is it on Facebook that this guy
Oh,
posts?
It's a YouTube video.
Oh, YouTube.
we'll find it.
Yeah,
Search Rat Race Zebra, whatever, and
yeah. Otter Creek, and
Oh, I love those
somebody else.
guys.
Yeah, I'm friends with Mike on Facebook, and
Mike Diorio?
yeah,
Yeah. They
he's
had
great.
two. They had 2 mics in that band. And Mike,
Guitar
we used
player
to call
Mike.
him- Yeah, well, there were 2 Mikes who play guitar. We called them Mike Jazz and Mike Rock. And at one point, they wanted my husband to join their band, and I was like, "Yeah, no band with 3 mics. Okay, I got to draw the line somewhere." We're already a little confused
Yeah.
under the circumstances.
3 mics could lead to feedback.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get you.
Wow, wow,
I
wow.
get you.
Tiny,
And you know,
how
A
is
lot of
your
open
leg?
mics.
What I
Oh, thank you for
realized-
asking.
Your leg
What?
is fine.
No, it's not doing too well. I've got to go to a wound care specialist tomorrow.
Oh, your leg.
Yes, I fell, busted my ass on the Friday before the gig.
Ouch.
I was stepping on stage, and I'm thinking I'm 30 years old again or something, So I just put my left foot up there, and it's going to pop up on the thing, and boy, my foot came off of there, and my leg went right into the corner of the stage and just split open. It just split open, and there's a big, big gaping hole right there right now. So I went to my doctor yesterday, or day before yesterday, yes. And he said, you got to go to a wound care specialist. I said, well, that's great. So he got me worked in for
Hardcore rock and
tomorrow.
roll, bro.
Man, I heard that.
Okay.
And he got me
Seems like-
feeling no pain, so.
We're at
I'm
the
doing
age
okay
where we
right
talk
now.
about doctors all the time. This is it.
Oxycodone's got me feeling okay.
Well, you know, I
It's
said that
legal.
I said that to you, Sonny. I said we spent the first half of our lives doing everything we could to kill ourselves. And the rest of it now, we're just doing everything we can to stay alive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, let me ask you something, because I mean, was there? Look, we all know what we did when we did it, and we did it in those situations that you were not that far away from. Was it all of a sudden like, wow, nah? I mean, was it like, were you getting the urges to just jump right back into the sewer, or nah, you were going to pass that, or was there a little remembrance there? Look at Tiny.
What?
Fine.
I was trying to text Angus something. Sorry about that.
You know, I saw people there that were drinking like
yeah.
they used to drink back in the day. In fact,
Yes.
so one of the guys from Southern Cross Road Crew, I said to him, what do you want to drink? This is, again, I'm going to say 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The bartenders were there, the doors went open or whatever. And he's like, a shot of Jack Daniels. And I was like, ooh, okay, it's a little early for that.
It must have been Dave.
Yeah, but I have to tell you,
Definitely.
back in the day, I would have been right there with him, handing him Jack. Now I'm like, I have to think about it. Okay, what price am I going to have to pay later on this?
Exactly. That's what I was meaning, really, by my question. I mean, there is no way that I would have or could have even thought about that, especially for me in the gig that I did. But just the circumstances were like, because you'd see the guy or you'd see our
Yeah.
and it was like, hey, yeah, okay. But now, listen, it's great that you got to do it. I mean, I think that's just phenomenal. And the fact that, the truth of the matter is, if you decided to go back out on the road, right? If you decided to, there's not that many places to play that are great places to play. And, I would rather play once a year to a packed house than 12 times a year to, oh yeah, I'll see him next month.
I'm with you.
It's
I'm right there too.
And I'll tell you the truth. You do it long enough and well enough, you'll be selling out, shows in advance. It's
an event
because people want to go there. I mean, they want to be a part of that, and that's maybe not every night anymore. I mean, whose lifestyle could even support that, or who, but man, how's the song go? I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
It's true though when you say about playing that often, because I remember when I first heard about the Nerds, and I had been my son was born and I was home nesting, so I wasn't out on the circuit for a while. Michael John was maybe about 2 years old, and everyone's like, oh, there's this band, the Nerds or something. And I was like, oh, I want to go see them, and they played every night, every week at this club in Bergenfield called Wally's. And they played at Wally's, I want to say every Wednesday night, and it was advertised. And it took me 2 solid years to finally go, oh, yeah, I'll go see those guys tonight, because every week something would come up and I'd go, they'll be there next week. I know they'll be there next week. They've been there forever. They'll be there another time. I'll see them another time. But when you see the fact, and we did the same thing with Molly Cribb, and I think they're going to do another one next year with Molly Cribb too. When you see this is it, and people that weren't here, even 2 years ago, that were here 2 years ago will not be here maybe.
Right.
For whatever reasons, unfortunately, you don't throw away that opportunity to just go, maybe, I'll pass it by this time. There might not be a next time.
Exactly.
It was like when Phil Collins put I'm Not Dead Yet tour, I'm like, I'm getting tickets to this.
Yeah.
Just, so
Because the next tour is "I'll Be Dead Soon" tour.
yeah, exactly. Or I'm already dead, so we don't know. So
Too late
yeah,
tour.
and the music, you're not going to hear this music anywhere else.
By the way,
You're just not going to.
Jimmy Palumbo says 20 years ago, he goes, the music was, or 40 years ago, the music was much better than the music today. I got one of the biggest cheers. And that's what the DJ said when he went to the Brookdale radio station when he came on too. It's true. Our music was so special, and it kind of glued everybody together. And what you were talking about before, Steve, did I have any urges to jump back into the pool? I was looking off the stage to my left, and I saw my son and daughter there, and I pretty much feel like I had a second life when they were born, and I didn't feel that urge. I was very proud and happy to see them. They both had their phones up, filming me, this kind of stuff. But it was
A different perspective. And when I
very,
said
very special.
I just meant what I meant was, because so much of hitting the dressing room and all those triggers are there. And believe me, I'm not like an AA or recovery guy. I just, I have some crazy friends that killed themselves thinking that they were still 25 years old.
Yeah.
And, old habits die hard. I was, I probably didn't phrase the question right, but it was, you tend to get back into that groove if you're in the right groove with the right people and the whole thing. It's like, yeah, it's, like those maniacs that jump off the roof. You shouldn't be doing that anymore. But
I used to look down the set list back in the days when people smoked, and I kind of smoked. I wasn't a big smoker, but I would smoke at gigs. It would like calm me down. So and you could smoke in clubs. And I remember I would look down the set list and go, da, 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 oh, this song I can have a cigarette. Like my hands will be free enough to have a cigarette during this. And oddly enough, that I stopped smoking for a million years. And when I went back to doing a weekly club gig, I got, I didn't smoke, but I wanted a fucking cigarette. There's no question.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, like there was something in my head that like saying, now you should be smoking now.
This is all.
Normally when you would be lighting one up. So yeah, absolutely. There's that Pavlovian thing that goes on, like
Exactly.
thing, 3 songs into the night, it's time to get everybody up and do a shot kind of thing. So yeah.
But man, I mean, you said it right, Sonny. Our music, and it's funny because you mentioned Otter Creek. We were talking about Kinderhook. You guys, I didn't realize, because don't forget, I didn't get to hear anybody. I didn't realize how popular the whole Southern rock thing was. Molly Cribb, the whole. I mean, it was a whole force.
Stan Anderson?
Yeah, Stanton Anderson. I didn't know Stanton Anderson played. I just knew that they worked a lot and pissed us off.
They were a great band.
They were so good.
They were a great band.
Lulu
We played with them
Mackley
several
played
times.
with them?
She did?
Am I right? That Linda Mackley played drums?
Linda was their drummer.
I think she was, yeah.
She was killer.
Yeah, I never got to hear them play. I mean, we were on the Kevin Brenner treadmill 6 nights a week, forever. No time off. It was,
The only time we got to see them is because we happened to get booked with them. That's the only time you saw other bands. Or on like one night, if you had one night off and it happened to be, because they had music like going 6 or 7 nights a week. If you happened to have a night off, oddly enough, you would, skip over. Sometimes I remember being like, playing at clubs that were in such close proximity that like on a break, you'd run over to try to catch like a couple songs from another band and then have to get back to where you were going, to do your show.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did. We were on that treadmill and you didn't get to see anybody else and you'd hear about people forever.
And if
I heard about this band, I never saw them.
If I would have changed one thing from back then, I might have, because you just took all those. All the bands were great. There was no question that you weren't going to go see somebody who sucked. I mean, you were just
they wouldn't
not.
have lasted.
They wouldn't have lasted at all. And so you sort of took for granted. Okay, well, yeah. And the one thing that I might have done different is I would have listened to more of the people that we played with, because we played with some great bands. And that's the one thing that didn't work because I don't like being out with the civilians. You know what I mean? It's just weird for me in the audience. So I just never could take to stand and and nobody lets you stand there and listen anyway. It's, hey man, you guys gonna do any more Jeff Gross? It's like
Yeah.
and so I wish I had gotten to see more people play, and I wish I had gotten to play with more people. You know what I mean? That would have been a great experience. So but there's still time.
I think one of the only times I used to go out and see music would be like this local bar, El Greco. You guys used to play there.
Yeah, we
played there. I went there to
We
see
played
you.
there.
I went there to see you guys. I remember when I saw you when you were playing three-piece, and I told Mark that I loved you as three-piece, and he goes, "It really sucks. If I suck, we really suck." He said, which I've never heard Mark sound bad anyway, but that you were doing a lot of police stuff, and he really had a grip on it. And he really, I love Mark and have the most respect for him, of course. But we also, they had concert night there. I was there a couple times. JJ would be there. His girlfriend was the bartender.
JJ would be there a lot.
And we saw Steve Marriott. He had the drummer, something Shirley, Steve Shirley from
Jerry Shirley.
Jerry Shirley, that's
From
it.
Humble Pie.
Humble Pie, yeah. That was a show, and they had a band from Australia. Was one of the opening acts called Angel City, which now they call themselves Angel now. The Angels now. They're like the Rolling Stones of Australia,
Wow.
and they were just on fire. They were fantastic. I was totally blown away by them, and I actually sent them a message on Facebook that I was there at that show, and they remembered it. They said, we were wondering if Steve Marriott was going to fall down because he was really been drinking a lot, and that was their memories of that job. They had that job.
Well, I tell you what, I'm so glad to hear that you are gonna do it again, right? I mean, you're gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Definitely.
looking for maybe a corporate event or something private, or maybe that again next year, the same kind of a thing.
Oh, I hope I'm invited.
Would you like to do the sound?
I'm definitely invited.
How did it sound? I don't know. I got to the point where I was turning to everyone around me and going, "How does this sound? How does this sound?" How does that? I was so nervous because again, the roar of the people in my head was just so, and then when I turned to Michael, I go, "How does it sound?" He goes, "It sounds fine." I go, "Well, fuck you. I just know you're just saying that because you don't want to hear me bitch about it."
But the one guy
You're no person to answer. Don't ask your husband. Of course, he's going to say, "Yeah, that dress is fine. You look beautiful. Let's go."
Gary
the one
told
guy
me.
that comes over and offers to give you cues. You don't want to hear.
Exactly.
How's it sound? Get the. Can I help you with the sound? No. Does it sound like you can? No, I don't think so. Ah, shit. I bet it was a blast, man. And we were thinking about you on that day.
Yes, we were.
And really hoping that you were having a blast. And it's when we decided to do the Throwback Thursdays, I wanted to do things like this to kind of reignite that flame that we were all flying around back then. It was just, I can't say it enough. It was just such a privileged time. And it came and it went, but we were there for like the whole thing. Guess what? That's pretty freaking cool.
We were there. Exactly.
We were there. We were there. So, you guys coming in tomorrow night?
It's entirely possible. I have a lesson at 6 o'clock, so I'll probably.
Okay.
All right. Well, now
Stay
Now,
positive.
I know.
I got to mention. You mentioned
I'm
Bonnie
also
Parker.
doing-
You mentioned Bonnie Parker before.
Yeah.
We lived one summer on her cancellations at South Jersey. Remember that, Tiny?
Yes, that's the interesting.
We played the Dunes. We played
That's
some
right.
other places.
Oh, Dunes till dawn.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was an awesome place to play.
we had
Hey, listen,
no booking agent.
I want to make sure we thank everybody that came out that's watching the show tonight. Everybody that came out to the Osprey, we were truly, from the bottoms of our hearts, appreciate it. And I hope to see you back there next year.
There you
If
go. I
not
love
soon.
that, man. And we'll do whatever we
Here.
can to be a part of that and promote and do whatever. So that's
Awesome.
That's awesome, guys. Well, come in tomorrow night for the free for all, and you're welcome. 5 minutes all night, whatever you want.
Any Friday.
And any Friday. This is the party's always at my room, and you guys are always welcome. And you, of course, lady, are a part of the party. I don't mean to distinguish or be misogynist.
It's okay, really. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's
See,
fine.
I mean, we're
You'll pay
musicians.
somewhere down the road, bro. Don't worry.
You know what? I pay. There's a tax on my life, and it's there is. Well, listen, I love you guys for being here. I'm so really, really, truly happy that you had such a great gig, and seeing the pictures today. Let me run those by one more time.
Could I mention the podcast? We're going to do some more episodes of that, and that'll be how we keep everybody informed.
Well, absolutely. I mean, listen, plug away whatever you want, guys. That's the beauty of this show. I have no sponsors to piss off. If there's something happening, that's why we're here. We want to let people know about it. Look at the smiles, though. That's just
Oh my God, it was so amazing. It was just beyond.
that's that's really what it's about, man. It's about, look at that. That's just killer.
Yep. So how can people listen to the podcast?
Yeah, how do they listen to the podcast?
It's either on Apple, Spotify, the regular podcast places where you can find them. It's called Just Can't Wait, the Southern Cross Story, I believe.
Just Can't Wait, the Southern Cross Story. Well, I'm about to drop another season of mine, so I'll cross promote. And
Awesome.
yeah, it's great. It's great seeing you guys enjoying music. And Mousy, I know how excited you were to get there, and
It was epic.
And I posted it so people can know where to find
Yeah,
it.
so yeah, we'll punch.
Thank you, Lori.
Hey, man, you know what? That's what we do. And man, Tiny, I keep looking at that natural strat. It looks beautiful, man.
Thank you, man.
Wow.
So good.
Every
It
time that
sounded
sucker goes,
so
off, it
good.
hurts my
That's a
head.
parts caster. That's a parts caster that I put together myself.
That's what. That's
Really?
Yes.
that's not from broken parts, though, right?
No. I got the body was made in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and the neck I got off eBay, and the pickups are Fitter Custom Shop. So
Wow.
I bet that sucker well.
So good.
That's great.
I think I should mention too that Marie wanted me to tell Mousy that she's watching the Yankees for Judge's 61 homer.
Man,
I'm
Roger Harris.
getting on it in any minute now.
We're waiting for screaming in the background. We'll know that it's
Children of the lawn are saying goodnight.
He hasn't tied it yet. He's at 60.
60. Yeah.
yes,
It's at
yes,
60 now. Yeah.
We're gonna go check it out.
Wow. Well, so and it's late September. Better get moving, bud. But you can
Oh,
do
he'll
that
get
in
it.
one
He'll
night.
get
He
it.
can do that in one night.
Yeah.
Put them both in one night. Imagine that, being at that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mentioned the sports guys. Did you ever meet the sports guys at Detroit? Larry Tortorisi used to bring in all these hockey players.
Yeah, believe me. I was at the China Club one night with Rod Gilbert, and he and John were so drunk I don't even know how they understood each other, because he had that French Canadian accent, and then he's drunk, and Entwistle has that and he's gone, and I'm sitting there saying, they look like they understand each other. and I had some friends on the Rangers and stuff. I remember Larry Tortorisi, bringing the sports guys around.
Yeah.
That was
Barry Beck and Duguay and
Ron
Yeah,
Dupuy.
Ron all the time. Yeah.
Ron
They were-
Greshner, yeah.
They used
Detroit.
to. They loved Southern rock. They said so. They come to see us a lot.
They partied too.
That's great.
They party. That's
They
right.
partied. There was some partying boys.
Do you remember Glenn Anderson from he was in Edmonton Oilers and then went and won a bunch of Stanley Cups with the Rangers. We're still friendly with him and his wife, and needless to say, he's not playing anymore, but there you go. Anyway, listen, all sports guys want to be rock stars.
Yeah.
Right, don't you know?
Yep.
All right. Well,
Because you don't get as hurt.
the children of the lawn are all saying goodnight.
Oh, it's time for
Bye,
their
children of the
yes.
lawn.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thanks for having us.
Love you,
Bye.
Tiny. Love
Thank
you,
you.
Sonny.
I love
Love
you,
you,
Mouse.
Steve.
Love
Love you,
you.
Honey,
Lori.
I love you too,
Love,
brother.
love.
Bye.
Love you guys, man. Thanks
All right.
again.
Thanks for having us,
Take
Steve.
care.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
for being there.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
And wow. I enjoyed that, and I wasn't even part of it.
Sounds like
'Cause
they had a great night.
It does sound like they had
Yeah.
a great. You could see it. Did you see
Yeah,
that? I mean, that
did.
was just. That was cool, man. Whoever took those pictures did a great job.
Yeah, they did.
The lights were beautiful,
I'm sure the sound
and
was
so
amazing.
was the sound person.
That's right. Okay, so I posted where you can hear their podcast. Oh, thank you, Laurie.
Oh, we have. See, we have. You rock. Yes, you do. Okay.
Okay, now
I like the
tomorrow
other one.
night,
It makes my head feel cool. Tomorrow, go ahead. Sorry.
Free for All Friday. So,
Oh, so. See, most people do this. Lori does this. That means you're going to get pushed out of the boat. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
good night, everybody.
Good night.